Okay, let's get started, everybody. Thanks for coming in today at 8 o'clock. I do appreciate you guys. I know some of you even had, maybe today's your day off or you had something planned. I know ICE, you had something going on and you guys made an effort to get here. So I just did it normally I like to do Saturdays, but I kind of wanted to plan it. So I've been going out to all the stores and doing a little bit of a video just to welcome you and thank you into the new store, and want to talk about a little bit about the results we've been getting and then go through some customer experience stuff, okay? Right on. So want to talk about the wins a little bit. It's been a great last couple of months at Kelowna Hyundai. So we hit some new personal records. I know some of you personally have as well. So congratulations on that. That's very impressive. So, you know, you think about all the challenges of moving and then, you know, moving within one day to one store to another and then getting in here and all your desks and all your offices. So that was a bit of a challenge, right? When you have to move your desks and move everything and whatnot. So I want to thank you guys. I know some of you had to come in on your days off and whatnot and move your desks over. And Mike was having a baby, came in and stuff like that. So anyway, how do you guys feel about it? It's pretty impressive, eh? Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. And then with Buy Direct, we have some new leadership and a new sort of team over there. A lot of new people, and we had a great month last month, so that's got to feel good as well, eh? Yeah, so good job, guys. Okay, the reason why I wanted to kind of sit down with you, and it's a little bit hot in this room. We got to get a personal, its own thermostat here. Anyway, guys, one of the things that I've really noticed this year is based on the low inventory and supply demand. We've done a really good job of holding firm and getting our margins up, right? So I think everyone would agree if they did year over year, even 2 years ago, we're probably up 30-40% per car in new and used, right? Now that's a pretty good thing. We've had to adjust and pivot a little bit with per car. The thing that I want to stress though is that it has to be a good value proposition for the employee or for the customer. So when you're asking all the money, that's okay. You can hold firm, you can ask for the money, but what do they get in return for that? And sometimes we lose sight of that. So I'll give you an example of if we're getting this mindset where it's like, hey, that's the price, I only have one, here are the keys. That's not really good customer experience. That's not a good value proposition for them, you know? And you gotta really be focused on that because you want the customers to feel good, right? And customers don't mind paying extra for things, like on a used car. You talk about used cars, the same car, sometimes the price they bought the car in 2019, 2020, brand new, it's worth more than that now. So that's good on trade-ins, but it's also, when we're selling the car, we know we're getting all the money for it. So, you know, customers are going to be okay with that, but are we explaining it? Are we making sure they understand it? Or do we have this mindset where it's like, nope, that's it? You know, and we got to be really careful on how we're doing that. I wanted to give you guys an example. Who's here that was on the fishing trip? Okay, 2, Connor, 3. So as you know, some of you have been on the previous trips. Every year we take people on a fishing trip, usually 20 people, and it's after you've been with us 3 years and been a good ambassador. We take you on this special fishing trip. So this particular year, we went to a little higher lodge, a little higher end. It was, you know, we did the research. Jordan, who's here, kind of did all the things behind the scenes. So we had to plan it, we had to prepare for it, we had to look on the website, we had to talk to the people, and then we kind of had to do this, and I'm going to use this word a lot, this value proposition decision. So then we made the decision to go ahead with this lodge. And we went to, this is the 10th year in a row. So we went to the lodge, we got there, and we looked around and the lodge was awesome, and took the helicopter in, and all that first experience was great. And they walked us through, and then and then we got to look where our rooms were. And Jordan, do you remember what happened?
Yep.
What happened?
Wrong.
The rooms were wrong. So you can imagine, you know, my frustration is I had just spent $120,000 bringing all these people here, and Jordan and I had done a really good job because it's a team building, guys. And I said that to some of you, you know, don't change rooms, don't change boats. We did it for a reason. We wanted certain people to be with each other, right? Because we wanted it for them, but if you were on a boat, maybe it was for the other person too. Maybe you were gonna give them some leadership, or maybe you were with me for more than they were in the company, and I wanted them to feel certain things and stories, right? So when I picked certain rooms and picked certain boats, it was for that reason. So we got up there, and this girl, and first of all, we came in and we didn't get any greeting from the manager, which I'm kind of used to. Maybe the manager would come over and say, wow, you just brought 20 people. Let me know if you need anything. He was nowhere to be found. So there was some new employee that had just got there. She'd only been about, 3 weeks on the job? And we said, hey, all these rooms, like, I'm supposed to, you know, Jordan and I were different. Brandon was with someone, you know, Winford and Paul were supposed to be together. There was all kinds of different rooms, and we were like, what's going on here? Jordan had sent them 10 different emails about where to go, and then they just scrambled it. Okay, like they said they'd get it fixed. And then we looked over, and sure enough, the boats were all wrong. Just scrambled, everybody was with anybody. I wasn't with who I wanted to. Nobody was, you know, we had it set up with different boats. So you take a look at, you know, this experience. We paid a premium. We liked the lodge, we liked the boats, we liked our rooms, but they didn't give me what I wanted for the value proposition. They screwed that up. Now, Jordan, have we had a conversation to go back there? We're not going back there. Now, what happened was all the good things they did. They had this massive fire pit. They had a games room. They had all these other things that really stood out. But this first part deterred. They had the best food we've ever had too. But that deterred from us. A, the manager not really giving us that special treatment that we're used to when we spend that type of money. And then B, not being efficient and organized on what my wants and needs were. I don't know how many $100,000 you know, guests and clients they have, but you know, we're gonna go somewhere else now. That's what stands out. So I guess the analogy on this story that I'm trying to say is, what are we giving the one thing I will take from the fishing lodge, and I want you guys to start using it. They called us guests, and it's all, they always do that. They say, our guest is here. Our guest boat broke down. Can you come pick up our guest? You know, our guest has special dietary restrictions. Our guest this, our guest that. These guests want to do this. These guests want to drink this. And I thought, wow, you know what? Maybe we should start calling our customers guests. You know, are we treating them like a guest when they come in? So that was one thing that really kind of stood out. You're our guest, so let's look after you as a guest, right? But that was one good thing. The meals were good, everything like that, but that was my story behind it. I took that part out, and I couldn't get rid of, and it deterred from all the good things. So my challenge to you guys is, when you're giving our guests experiences, are you giving them something that might deter from all the good things you've done? Just by one little thing that you could have done better? So, you know, use that word value proposition. Now I want you all to think about your last vacation, right? Think about the last vacation you went on. I don't mean the staycation, but the last place that you went for a vacation. Does everybody have one that they did? Okay. Do you remember what you did before the vacation? Tell us about your vacation.
Prior to my trip, I was obviously excited.
Yeah.
And I was planning my rental car.
Planning, anticipating, looking for what, you know, maybe excursions you might do, all that type of thing. Then during the vacation, obviously you had snapshots and memories, right? And then what did you do after? You brought back stories, right? You brought back pictures and stuff you could share, right? So when I'm talking about the experience of your vacation, and then I want you to drill down on a customer experience, it's not when people talk about customer experience, sometimes they're like, it's that one-on-one moment, or the 20 minutes or an hour I'm with my guest or I'm with my customer. But it's not really. It's the before, during, and then what happened after. So when they're coming in here, we got to think about, as a team and as good business people and as good successful people, we need to think about before, during, and after. Just like you guys all experience stuff on your vacation, right? Sometimes the before is just as important. You know, they're coming in here value proposition. That's when they're buying a car. You got to think about it. Do you think that they started to do research and started to anticipate what models and what cars they liked? Probably. Do you think that when they buy the car, it's only about the product and just about the car? I think not. I think it's about the experience sometimes. I think it's about who you guys are that are sharing that value with them right when they're here, and then it's afterwards. Did we do the things afterwards that we're going to give them that best customer experience? Like, I never even got a follow-up call yet from Fishing Lodge to ask for feedback. You know, obviously it's not that important whether I was happy or not, right? And so sometimes I really challenge salespeople when, you know, we got these great, successful people that sell the most cars, but then they don't follow up to customers. They're already on burning through another one, and I'm just thinking, if you're in this career short term, that would be probably the best thing to do. Hey, I got 3 months, I'm gonna sell as many cars as I can, then I'm gonna go to another dealership. That'd probably be a smart thing. But if you plan on being with a career with the Cott Auto Group and being here for more than 3 to 6 months, then that after experience needs to be better. Because you want them to tell their friends, you want them to tell their family members. You want them to come back and buy their second cars. A lot of salespeople forget about this. You sold them one car. In a family, how many cars do you think they have? Usually they all have a second car. We're not tapping into that sometimes because we don't do that after customer experience, good enough. Let's talk about the restaurant. Who here has a favorite restaurant in town in Kelowna? Chad? Which one is it?
I like Skinny Dukes.
Skinny Dukes, okay. What do you like about it?
I like the ambiance. The food is fantastic.
Yeah.
You're usually greeted within the first step in the door.
Yeah.
It's really friendly and the
Yeah.
food is fantastic.
Do you keep going back to it? Right. Chances are most people, when they have a restaurant that they like to, they keep going back to the same one. It becomes a habit. The habit is the customer experience or the guest experience. And sometimes I'm going to challenge you guys this, it's not always about the food. The food is obviously a key, important part of it, but it's the entire circle. It's the before, were you able to get in? It's, and I'll give you an example with my wife, Trina. She has some dietary restrictions when we go to restaurants. She's vegan and gluten-free and has some things going on sometimes with what she eats. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Well, we have to do a lot of prep and a lot of trying out on restaurants, right? Which, where are we gonna go, this and that. And sometimes even the same restaurant can give us two total different experiences based on the server. So we go in, the server is very high energy, smiling, happy, empathetic to what Trina needs, listens. I can only eat certain vegetables. I have it's no problem, I'll go talk to the chef. Talk to the chef comes out, so I just want to make sure you can do this. Yeah, I'll make up something special for you. Perfect. The next time we go to the restaurant, some server, not on his game, or her, oh, that's not on the menu. Right? So relate to this, guys, on how we're giving our experiences. Because it's the same thing when they come down and talk to us. And we gotta make sure we're focused on that. Brad and myself, and Ben, and who else was there? Brandon, myself, Ben, and Anthony Bird. We all went out for supper on Saturday night in Victoria. We went to a fancy restaurant called Boom and Batten. And Brandon had remembered about the tomahawk steak. It was no longer on the menu. So Brandon said, hey, do you have the tomahawks? The server says, no, that's not on the menu. Oh, I've had it here before. Okay, anyway, we start going through it. Anyway, she comes back and says, you know what? The guest, or the chef said that he does have 2 tomahawks that he could do up for you. So Brandon said, hey, can you put a little spice on it, this and that? So we ordered it. These 4 of us split these 2 tomahawk steaks. Special, wasn't on the menu. Chef came out and said, hey, how did you like it after this and that? It came out in a big plate, all cut up nice and, this and that. Anyway, they did a really good job and spicing it up in exactly the way we wanted it. Wasn't on the menu. How did I feel? I felt pretty special. They made me feel special because I got to order off menu. Well, guess what happened as we were paying the bill that I noticed? Server was bringing out another tomahawk steak to a table right behind us. Right? Because someone's seen what we did. Someone's seen we got it. They wanted to experience what we were getting. Wow, we were pumped, we seen it. Everybody in the whole restaurant was looking at us. All of a sudden we pay the bill and guess what happens when you order off menu? They don't care the price. I didn't know what I was paying. So it was a bit of a surprise when I got the bill. But value proposition, I was okay paying the premium, but they weren't shy about it either. But my point on this is someone else seen what we got. They've seen us for experience, table behind us. We want that experience. We want what they have, right? So we got to really focus on what kind of experience we're giving. It's okay to ask all the money on a car, guys. It's okay if you only have one car and you want to hold out for a high margin. It's okay for a used car, to ask all the money, even though that, prices 2 years ago were less. It's okay. You can ask all the money, but is the customer getting the proper value proposition? Are you giving them that value? All right? So if you learn anything from today's session, I'm not going to go on for an hour. I want you to have 2 takeaways. Okay? I want you to write this down. The first one is manage the guest or employee's emotions. That is the key. Manage their emotions. Sam, what do you think I mean when I say manage their emotions?
When I hear manage the emotions, if they are super happy and excited about something that's going on, I want to keep feeding that emotion.
Ding, 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 ding. He said the word, happy. Make sure they are happier when they leave than when they got here. That is your goal. Manage their emotions. Make sure they are happier when they leave than when they got here. How do we do that, Connor?
We give them a great experience
Okay, how do we do that?
by giving them all of our attention, following the process properly,
Yeah.
staying engaged,
Yeah.
meeting their expectations.
One other little one was, do you think when I got the tomahawk and I got to go order off the menu that I was a little bit surprised? They surprised me. They gave me something that I didn't expect. It wasn't on the menu. The second thing today is surprise them with something. And I mean a pleasantly surprise. Give them a pleasant surprise. Sam, is there something on your phone I can help you with?
No, I'm taking
Oh, you're taking notes? Okay. Pleasant surprise. Give them a pleasant surprise. What are things that you could do for a pleasant surprise? Well, how many people in today's world get caffeinated? I have one here. I usually don't start my day without a coffee. And sometimes I have a second one at 1 or 2 o'clock, depending on my day. Well, an easy, pleasant surprise would be is that you know what I drink for a coffee before my appointment, and you walk out to give it to me when I get out of my car. That would be pretty easy. We have coffee machines here, just so you know, that make pretty good coffees. I have one in my office too. But my point is, give them a pleasant surprise. Imagine a guy drives up, he had an appointment with you, you greeted him as he got out of the car and said, hey, I'm all set for you. Your car is completely detailed for the appointment, but like you said, here's your coffee. Let's go to sit inside and have a little chat first. That would be a pleasantly surprised, because no one else might do that. Now you could wait till he gets in and say, hey, what do you drink for coffee? And that's what they're gonna get that experience everywhere. Okay, or the coffee bar, make your own coffee. What happened if you did it for him ahead of time and knew exactly, are you still gonna be on time? I'll give you another example. The airlines have mastered this now. Before I fly a lot. The day before I fly, I get a reminder. Then an hour before, I get a reminder. It's a simple reminder, it's a text. I like it. Here's your checklist, what to do before you get here, before you get in. Don't forget a mask, blah, 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 blah. But it was a reminder. Shoot, gotta find a mask. It's one place you still need a mask. It's at the airport. That reminder was a good value proposition. I would have forgot. And then I hate walking up to the till and not having one, and it's just I don't like it. It kind of stresses, kind of gives me that anxiety. Anyone who's flew with me before knows at airports, sometimes I get a little edgy, right? So it's just, I need to be early, I need to get there, I need to get through security and then relax, right? So, but that reminder, it was a good thing. So then, you know, that's another little pleasantly surprised. Are we making sure that we do a nice little note before they get here? You could tie in the coffee, right? What they need to bring. Finance people, are they getting a friendly reminder checklist of what they need to bring via text? You might have already told them. Are they getting a little reminder? Hey, this is Tim from Kelowna Hyundai. I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder. I'm really looking forward to my appointment tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Here's some things that you need to bring with you. Call me if you have any questions before. And then roll out the red carpet. You know, the first impression, the good energy. I talked about the server, someone that's really happy, smiling, managing the emotions. Well, good energy is really important. So we have to sometimes challenge ourselves. How's our energy? So what's the difference when I say good energy and bad energy, do you think? Yeah.
Good energy is like if you're smiling and very passionate about the guest experience you're about to give.
Yeah.
And bad energy is when you're all sad.
Okay.
Not even smiling.
Right. So is there some times that we could have bad energy, guys, in the workplace? What are some things, Malik, that you could have bad energy, do you think?
Dealing with the Swiss or customer, the car you're going to show is like not starting or not.
Okay. Yeah. So you might give, they could see it. What are some other ways that you might have bad energy, do you think?
Just body language in general.
Yeah.
You're not answering questions the way you like it.
Yeah.
On your face.
Jared?
You can see other people around you as well, like your conversations.
Yeah.
They get conversations around you.
What about if you had a personal issue at work? Would you give out bad energy? Okay. You'd be carrying it around. People can tell, man. People can tell whether you have good energy for that day or whether you don't have good energy for the day. This guy sniped me on a deal. I missed bonus by 1 unit. That guy just sold the car that I was gonna sell. Right? All kinds of things. But I gotta challenge you, they don't care. It's their value proposition, not yours. Some of you have little kids. I'm sure Jordy, sometimes you might have some challenges at home. you know, with your kids, James, right? Personal things going on sometimes. You got to remember that stuff is energy gives off. It's addictive. Good energy, people feed off of it. So do bad energy. All of you are a prop in a movie set. You know what a prop in a movie set means, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, what does it mean?
Somebody in the background is playing regular life.
Right. So when Sean is with a customer and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the tower and he's going to get a set of keys and they're watching you guys in the tower interact with another salesman, is that giving off the good energy that we want that customer to see? When Spencer's sitting at his desk, not happy about something, and right next to him, he's with the client. How's that energy? And I'm not saying you do that, Spencer. I'm just giving an example, but I think you do it quite a bit. No, I'm just kidding. Had to throw a couple zingers out today, keep you guys all engaged. You get where I'm coming from, though, guys? You got to be aware. You got to be aware of what, you know. And I watched a movie the other day, and it was about, if you ever guys watch it on Netflix, it's about the team rowing show. I forget what it was called, but we watched it, Trina and myself and Logan. And it was about this 1969 team that was rowing, and they won the medal. And it really stuck home to me about the team, because you can have 2 or 3 really good rowers on the team, but if they all don't row in sync, you never win. You can't win a rowing competition unless every single person rows at the exact same time. What they did is, this team, is they blindfolded all of them so that they could start feeling the wave. And it was really cool. So then they started just feeling it and they started rowing all at the same time. But before that, there was, I want to be the team leader and I want to be the captain and I'm a faster rower than you and which position are you in and I want to be at the front and I want to be at the back. And they could never win. They could never win. Because it wasn't a team. The team wasn't in sync with how to row. So certain people were rowing their own way. They weren't rowing the way the team wanted them to row. I'm going to challenge you guys, we can't give customer experience the way we want unless everybody on the team is rowing the way we want. One person rowing wrong, the team loses. The prop of the movie set has to be perfect every day. We got a lot of things going on here. When they walk in, buy direct to brand new stores. But let's make sure the energy level and the good energy is the way we want it to be when we're communicating. And it's not just when you're with a customer. There's always going to be one customer in our showroom. I've never walked in here during business hours and there hasn't been at least one. So put on your movie set hat and make sure that you're giving off good energy, even when you're not with an employee. Anybody can step in and say, oh, my appointment's here, you know, and do that. What about when someone else is with the employee? What kind of energy are you giving off? You know, do you think they're watching? Do you think your customers that are going in the business office are watching someone else go in the business office? Ice? Yeah, they don't want to go in there. They've heard stories. They're watching you guys like a hawk. So we got to be careful on how we're communicating, guys. Okay? So that's kind of, you know, I'm not going to go on anymore. Let me see if I left anything out. All right, let's do the recap. Anyone heard me ever say recap? So it was give a good meeting, just so all of you know. Right, Justin? You got the start, right? Then you got the body. Now we got the recap. What was in the body, Chad? What was the takeaway?
value proposition, providing good experience, and I know I could give Academy Award for best supporting actors.
Right. Justin, what's a good recap of today? What are some things that you had a takeaway?
Understanding the customer's expectations. They
Right.
They want to be taken care of, and if we have that in mind before they show up, we all project their people.
Right. Jordan Cott, what's a good takeaway from today's meeting?
If you're asking all the money for a car, make sure you can make an experience.
Yeah. Value. It's okay to ask all the money, guys. Make sure they're getting value. Make sure they feel they're getting value. What's another takeaway? Connor, what are one of the two things that I told you have to do from this meeting that I really emphasized? What was one of them?
Surprise your customer.
Right, that was the second one. Give them a pleasant surprise every single experience. Find something to pleasantly surprise them with, right? Could be anything. Figure out what it should be and give them a pleasant surprise. What was the second thing, Sam?
Manage the guest employees.
Right, manage their emotions. We got to manage their emotions. And do you, when I asked him what does that mean, Michael, do you remember what he said?
Make sure they're happier when they leave.
Nice, perfect. Your goal for a customer experience is to make sure they leave happier of when they got here. Because you got to remember, it's like that movie that you've seen where you really liked it. What's a really good movie that someone's liked lately? Anybody go to movies?
New Top Gun.
The new Top Gun. Very good example. I took Trina and Logan to Top Gun yesterday. I had already seen it once. My point is, most of the people that see Top Gun, they tell the story. And they don't say, hey, I really like Top Gun. They say, you gotta go see Top Gun. Not that you should go see Top Gun. You have to go see Top Gun. It was one of the best movies I've ever seen in the last 5 years. You have to go, Chad. You have to see that movie.
I've tried 3 times.
No, but you get what I'm saying? My point is you have to see that movie. Now, they got a really good customer experience at the Cott Auto Group from Naz. You have to go see Cott Auto Group. You have to go see Naz on your next customer experience, your next time you look for a car. You have to go check out Chad at Buy Direct. His team's unbelievable. You just have to. I couldn't believe how pleasantly surprised I was with my customer experience. You gotta go see him. That's what we want. We want it to be like a Top Gun movie. That's the recommend we want. You just have to go next time you're going to a movie. So we just have to go see Cott Auto Group at Kelowna Hyundai in their brand new building with their unbelievable team. All right? All right, guys, thank you very much. I hope you got something out of it. Have a wonderful week, all right? Let's do it.